Hello, epic viewers from around the world. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, cat-fitting, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What item will I be unboxing? What item will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What item is encompassed inside this tangible, hefty, nifty, bulky box? Let's find out, and I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now, so bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the item from the box and subsequently flaunt it from the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go, the unboxing process is about to commence. It is officially underway. I will ravage the packaging. I will decimate the packaging. This is uncanny. This is unorthodox. This is unprecedented. The cardboard, or the paper, can be consigned to the vendor. It can be relegated to the trash. It's now vendor trash. I guess it could be decycled, right? Who knows? Who knows anything anymore? Alrighty. This cardboard box no longer serves a pragmatic use. It served its purpose, which entailed safeguarding the contents of the box. It was not devoid of its items. I will relinquish it. Alright. Which figurine is engulfed in the bubble wrap? Let's find out. If you're an avid devout Yu-Gi-Oh fan, then you certainly know who this character is. He is illustrious, he is revered, he is renowned. He's the one and only legendary Jinzo, a monster with a divine ability to decimate any trap cards on the field. When he's summoned to the battlefield, he can wreak havoc against your adversaries. Do not underestimate his physical prowess, or his mental prowess. Is he a beast in combat? Is he a cyborg? Is he a robot? I do not know. Can you profile him? He has spikes protruding out of his belt. So, if you're within his vicinity, you need to be wary. You need to be meticulous. You need to be prudent. You need to be fastidious. You need to be diligent and careful. Why? If you get too close to him, you may wind up bleeding out. The spikes induce residual damage. You bang into them, you collide into them, you start bleeding, you start losing blood, and you slowly wither away. Your senses begin to atrophy as your blood volume diminishes. If you want to avert a depletion of your blood supply, then stay out of this character's proximity. I'm done embellishing this figurine. Let's meticulously analyze him, let's scrutinize him. He's not marred with scratches. He has at least 4 points of articulation. He lacks elbow joints. He lacks elbow joints. He lacks knee joints. He lacks a diaphragm joint. He lacks finger joints. He lacks toe articulation. He lacks ankle pivots. He lacks disc joint in his head. He cannot swivel his wrists, so his dynamic poses that he can be placed in are relatively limited. You can place him into a finite amount of poses. He comes with some accessories that he can wield. He has some psychic attacks. He can dispense with his adversaries at any given moment. He can range them down. And if someone gets too close to him, then he can bleed them out by colliding into them. Remember, his adversaries could maybe become impaled by his spikes. They collide into him. Unless they have armor that can mitigate the damage. I love his skirt. You have the autonomy to flap it a bit if you so choose to. So, am I flabbergasted? Am I baffled that he lacks articulation in most of his joints? I'm not. This is a decent figurine. He was likely produced by Mattel amid the early 2000s. Perhaps he was churned out by Mattel amid the middle of the 1990s. I discern this figurine to be meritorious. He warranted a premium price. He's at least 6 inches tall. He seems to be roughly 6 to 7 inches tall. That's what I would estimate. Seems pretty accurate. He can launch an energy blast. Am I buoyant? Am I jubilant? Yes, I am. I love this figurine. He could change out his attacks, so it's wonderful that this figurine comes equipped with some accessories. You also have the autonomy to detach them at your own discretion, if you so choose to. His wrist scars also have spikes protruding out of them, same with his necklace. So, his character is built for combat. He's poised for combat. He's ready to charge into the fray of battle and trounce anyone that opposes him. He instills trepidation into the hearts of his adversaries. He wards off evil. He seems to be a valiant, noble, stoic, heroic warrior. But who knows if he truly is that way. His personality is not elucidated, nor revealed in depths. In the Yu-Gi-Oh series, I can only make the arbitrary assumption that he's an ally of good, or he's a neutral monster. He doesn't really seem like a malicious, notorious, sadistic, coercive monster, but he may be, for all I know. I'm just gratified to have this figurine. I'll add him to my prodigious action figure collection. He'll coincide eminently well with my 6 to 7 inch action figures. His joints are sturdy. I would have preferred if this figurine had finger joint articulation. I would have preferred if his appendages were a bit bulkier. But I can't really complain. I managed to procure this figurine for under $20. I have no major qualms about this purchase and decision. I'm content with my purchase and decision. In retrospect, I would have purchased this figurine again. So I have no compunction. I have no compunction about my actions, even though I put myself in a dire situation. Why? I purchased in him. I depleted roughly $18 of my finite monetary assets. So it was not a prudent decision to purchase them, since I do not plan on reselling him. His second-hand market value is currently higher than $18, but I put my future in peril. I put myself in harm's way by depleting my finite monetary assets, because it's going to be more cumbersome for me to afford to finance a mortgage for a one-bedroom condo if I'm $18 poorer than I already am. But it's my decision. I guess you can say at the moment I'm living for the short haul, not the long haul. I got to relish the present. We can only live in the present. The future will coalesce into the present when it transpires, if that makes any sense. Or it will eventually become the present, and the past is over. And if you're mentally living in the past, you're still technically living in the present. You shouldn't let the past consume the present in terms of your mentality. I did not want to fluster you, so I'm going to end this video now. But in the context of the Jinzo action figure from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Action figure line produced by Mattel, this figurine is meritorious. He warranted a premium price. I love this figurine. I love the character. He has roughly 2,400 attack points. You can augment his capabilities by equipping him with magic cards. He can decimate any trap cards that have been summoned to the field. That's his innate, inherent, default ability that allows him to have a pragmatic use on the battlefield. So he's potent in melee combat, or he's potent in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. If any monster charges him, he can bleed them out if he can't get off a psychic attack in time, or a telekinesis attack on time. He's such a stupendous figurine. I love his aesthetics, I love his textures, I love his hues, I love his sculpt, I love his muscle tones. His seam lines aren't very noticeable. Maybe he doesn't have any muscle tones since he's a cyborg or a robot. Or maybe he does. Underneath his crinkled or wrinkled clothing, it's arduous to tell. My vision is just abysmal in every facet. My visual prowess is withering, is beginning to atrophy, is diminishing. Every year my vision gradually exacerbates. Maybe one day I'll be blind. I don't even know if this character has any muscle tones at this point. I would presume that he does. But if he's a cyborg, he may give off the facade of having muscles, but in reality, he's just comprised of metal, right? Or, in the context of an action figure, plastic that has color schemes to represent a cyborg, a robotic character. I would have preferred if he had elbow joint articulation and knee joint articulation. I would have preferred if his helmet could be detached. Apparently it cannot. I would have preferred if his mask could be removed. I love this figure's nitty-gritty details. I love his armor, his rubber armor. He's practically in mint condition considering his age. I think he was churned out in 1996 or in the early 2000s, but if that's the case, he's nearly 2 decades old at this point. And just look at his condition, look at his intricacies. I love his novelties. I just love Jinzo. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I love the king of games. Yeah, Jinzo is definitely one of my favorite creatures or monsters. Will he illuminate the field with a telekinesis attack? Likely not. He likely does not emit too much radiation or ultraviolet light, emit attacking his adversaries, but he may. So, here's a Jinzo. If you want to get him in the original default packaging, mint on card, not used, not pre-owned, then you may have to pay closer to $40. So it just doesn't make any rational, logical sense when you could purchase them used via eBay and get a homogeneous figurine for roughly $20 less, even though you don't necessarily own the original packaging he came in. In other words, the manufacturer's packaging is now worth $20 additional dollars. It's not worth additional surcharges, or it's not worth double the price of the figurine, in my humble opinion. But that's my objective, humble personal opinion. Yours may be disparate from mine, which is okay. Your sentiments can differ in any aspect that you so choose to do. Do not allow others to persuade or dissuade your decisions in any facet. Implement decisions based on your own volition. Pursue decisions that optimize your happiness and that minimize your agony. So, do not be agonized, do not be agitated, do not be infuriated. Relish every moment of your life. I love this Jinzo figurine. I'm buoyant, I'm jubilant, and I'm gratified since I now own him. So that's everything I wanted to spew from my vocal folds like a May. I hope you found this video to be intriguing and marvelous. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.